Dude, people think Twitter's bad now. Dude, imagine the Wild West when it started, mate. No one cared back then. No one gave a shit back then, mate. I had people being like, I know where you live, and they'd take photos of your door.
Was there never any part of you that just went, yeah, that's one of my houses? Oh, yeah. Our guest today is a reality TV star from Made in Chelsea. It's Sam Thompson.
Hello!
Fuck.
What?
It was fucking really
punchy,
enthusiastic hello, wasn't it?
Hello.
How do you feel about that, Tom?
It was loud. It was definitely loud.
Do you want toned down? Do you want hello?
Sam, you do the Sam thing.
No,
Hey,
I want it
listen,
toned
hey,
up as much as possible because I can see the granddad in the corner here getting a bit like,
yeah, can hack it.
fuck, what are we going to do with all this young, dumb, full of cum energy in the room?
Yeah.
Me and
You've read
Sam.
my
This
mind.
sun seeing sex energy kicking in.
Right, Sam, reality TV.
Shoot from the hip. What do you want to know?
Well, right, what's reality TV? What exactly is it?
What is reality TV? That's a very good question. So I would say reality TV is structured but real at the same time. So, for example, you as Joe are being filmed as the character is you, right? And you are being filmed in a structured circumstance. So, for example, if the show involves you dating on a dating show or something like that, you need to be in a bubble where the cameras can see you, or you need to be in a location where you're being yourself, but you need to be in a structured surrounding. Is how I would describe reality TV. I think I've described that quite well, to be fair.
You have. That is
Yeah.
What are your
I
big
panicked
watches,
a bit
Joe?
there.
my big watches.
Yeah, for reality TV, what's the hit list?
Used to love Big Brother.
Oh, so did I.
So when it
Channel 4 Big Brother, though.
when it stopped, I was like, oh.
Favourite
this has broke
series?
my heart. Brian.
Irish Brian.
No. Irish Brian.
Which one's Irish?
No, that was like season 1.
Yeah.
Well, how many seasons
There's millions, not millions.
have you? That was season 1, mate. Is that the only one you've seen?
I've seen the one which has got Irish Brian, Nasty Nick, Craig the Scouse Builder.
I think that's still one. That's only
What
1
about-
and 2.
Okay.
It sounds like you're naming wrestlers. Irish Brian and the Scouse Builder.
No, Brian Bello.
Brian Bella.
Yeah, he's like, you mate, how you doing?
Who's the guy who's like cider? I like my cider.
Yeah, Brian.
Is that Brian?
Yeah, I like cider.
Yeah.
You know what, mate? How you doing, mate? You didn't know?
Not familiar with this one.
Oh, fuck me, dead.
Big Brother was great though. To be fair, I really liked it.
You weren't a Channel 5 fan of it? No.
I was. This is terrible. I did Big Brother. Yeah.
Channel 5 version?
The Channel 5. So as a viewer, I preferred the before one because I think it was a bigger deal. I did Big Brother as it was sort of like coming to the end of its life.
Was it the same house?
Yeah.
What? Who
location.
were your housemates?
Oh fuck! Don't make me remember this. Right, it was me, a guy called Paul Danan. Do you know who Paul Danan is?
Yes, from Hollyoaks.
Mate, what a character he is.
How do you know Paul Danan?
Dude, just get him on here.
He had dark hair, like #1 buzz cuts. He was on Hollyoaks in the late 90s.
Years ago, yeah. He was actually on the original Love Island. Him and Callum Best years ago.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Another one.
So Paul Danan, a girl called Gemma Lucy. She was a reality TV person. She was on a couple of shows. A girl called Amelia Lilly, voice of an angel, X Factor. Oh God, he's dead now. Psychic guy.
Yul Brenner.
No.
Uri Geller.
No, he's on Hunter. He's on Ghost Hunters or something.
Dead psychic.
So he's sidekick or psychic?
Psychic.
Sure it's not Uri Geller?
Derek, not Chisora.
Derek Chisora's dead.
Derek
Announcement, Derek Chisora is dead.
Derek
It's incoming
something.
news.
God, he was really nice as well. He used to smoke about 4
Akora.
a day. Derek Akora.
Pulled that one
No,
out somewhere.
no, you didn't. They told you in your head.
How do you know?
I didn't. I pulled,
Yes,
How
they
do you know
did.
Derek Akora?
It's just a word association. I was thinking of all the Dereks I know.
Now you can see why Hakora and Chisora are quite similar to me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's-
he was great.
What was the one? I think you remember this moment.
King-
Joe,
Kinger.
It might have been a celebrity one.
Oh.
David's dead.
Oh yeah, mate. Who doesn't love that one? That was
That
great.
is surely the greatest Big Brother moment
David's
ever.
dead.
David's dead. Oh my God, David's dead! And then she's
Don't
like,
tell
"Yeah,
anyone."
shh."
Yeah.
She goes and sees him in the bedroom. David guessed it.
Yeah. And then,
What the fuck?
and then she has a
Just
go.
Tom-
Then she has a go at her.
What? That's fucking sick. David's not dead. He's in the bedroom. What do you mean he's in the bedroom? He's in the bedroom. What the fuck's your problem? David fucking Bowie, my ex-husband, you twat. Oh, it was.
To be fair, quite bold to just think that everyone's gonna know David. You mean David Bowie?
Yeah.
Like it's quite like there is a guy called David in the house, and you go, David's dead. It's like we probably
Oh my
don't
God.
know.
Oh my God, David's dead.
That is the best one. I love that.
Oh, I love it. Back to Made in Chelsea. Was that something you sought out?
Do you want to introduce Made in Chelsea? Because we've not mentioned
Well,
it.
main show. So I'm not.
Oh
actually,
shit, we haven't. Okay.
Well, no,
So
by the way,
I
it
did
doesn't
anything.
actually matter because I'm not actually on it anymore. I haven't been on it for 2 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, they'll be very happy for it.
So you made your name
Yeah.
from starring in Made in Chelsea. Did you seek that out, or
No.
were you sought out?
Neither.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get either. I was a bartender. I think I was like 20 years old, and I didn't know what the hell I was going to do in my life. And my sister was on Made in Chelsea, so it was sort of like quite a obvious thing. But I wasn't really mates with any of them. And well, put it this way: when I was on Made in Chelsea, there's quite a few cast members. Not one of them sports football team. Like they are very posh.
yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not, because I am, but like it was quite hard to relate to a lot of them. And so I didn't really know any of them that well, and I was a lot younger than most of them, and so I'd never really thought I was ever going to do it. And I was bartending, and I remember the producers came into the bar that I was working at and were like, "Oh, we've got a Made in Chelsea party here." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "My sister's on your show." And they were like, "Do you want to come in and have a chat with us?" I was like, "Mate, working as a bar? Yes, get me in there." And do you know what the funny thing is? This is terrible, but the reason that I even did it is like the worst, most self-centered reason ever. I wanted to get into nightclubs without getting thrown out, right? And I wanted to go on dates because I'd never really dated anyone before. So I was literally just like, I want to get with a couple of girls and be accepted into nightclubs. That was the only reason that I actually did reality TV. And then about 2 years into it, I realised that I fell into my dream job, and I was just so lucky. Like, I didn't realise there was an industry behind all of this, like this reality show that I was on. And then like you have radio presenting, you have hosting events, you have the digital marketing stuff that I absolutely love. Like there are so many things. I'm starting up my own production company, like my own advertising agency. There's so many things that you can do, and I had no idea. And to even get in to that space, the only reason I did it into what would turn out to be my dream job was to get into nightclubs.
Brilliant.
So what you're gonna have to help me out here, boys, because I haven't seen a single second of Made in Chelsea. What happens on Made
You
in
and
Chelsea?
me both, mate. I don't watch it.
What happens?
I mean, it's kind of how I described reality TV, I guess. So what you do is you're playing yourself, and so they're following your life. And they put you in structured situations. So what would normally, do you know, a lot of people ask me this, and I love the team on Made in Chelsea. They're great people. Monkey Kingdom production company. Like some of them I've known for longer than some of my good mates. And they're like, it's very real. It's a lot more real than you would think, to be fair, because what happens is a lot of people go, "You're actors." I'm like, "Mate, if I was a fucking actor, dude, I'd be on EastEnders. I'd be in LA. I wouldn't be on a reality show." And they're like, "Oh, you get the script." Once again, dyslexic for one. If I could read a script and recite it, I wouldn't be on Made in Chelsea. But what they normally do is the producer will like call you up and they'll be like, "Hey, what's going on with your life?" And you would turn around and be like, well, in my case, it'd be like, "Well, I got rejected from this girl." And they'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting, like we'll follow that." And so basically whatever the production company deem as interesting that is sort of like centered around the group of people they're filming, they film it.
I don't think I'd make it in Made in Chelsea, if I'm honest.
What about Made in Heathfield?
There's not really a lot going on there. I can't imagine, like, Made in Chelsea is quite a lot of bougie. What's bougie?
Bougie.
Bougie.
What's that?
Posh? What does posh mean?
I don't actually know what posh means. to be fair.
Right, there's quite a lot of high-end caviar places they
Gotcha.
go to. Made in Heathfield, I'd have to do like a bump in outside Help the Aged.
Hang on, what's a bump in?
So bumping is like, it's a good word, mate. Bumping's like where you're walking down the street and there's another street like intersecting. Because basically what you can't do is you can't be like, right, I'm going to tell you this, whatever's happening in my life. They're like, oh my God, like, let's film that. And you're like, okay, cool. There's no way they can possibly just follow you around your whole life and hope that you're going to meet the person you like fancy or has dumped you or whatever. So they'll say to that person, right, walk down that street. They'll say to you, walk down that street. And then you have to meet and then have a chat that you would normally have. So it's like, that's why it's like structured. It's in like a controlled setting. But then again, you say you wouldn't be good, mate, but you're a rugby player, mate. I hear what happens behind closed doors at rugby. It's way more fascinating. It's like the housewives over there.
Yeah, that could be a good one, actually.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
the changing room of rugby.
You know
wow.
What would we call it?
the deep undercarriage. You know how they say, oh, you get to the dark
and the other.
What do you mean?
Well, there's sort of
Made in
Geordie
Chelsea,
Shore,
Geordie Shore,
Jersey Shore. Did that come?
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore was like the main one.
one
was
of the
it?
best, mate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jersey Shore was like the big one.
Situation.
Yeah, Minor Situation.
Situation,
And
man.
Snooky.
Snooky.
Yeah, Paulie
I
D.
love Paulie D.
Yeah, he was my favourite as well.
Can you?
Cabs are here.
Yeah.
Cabs are here.
He's the only one who's actually made like something of himself. He's like absolutely smashed it. He got made part of G Unit.
The actual G Unit.
The actual G Unit.
What, for a laugh?
No,
Or-
because he's a good DJ. Well, I don't know how good of a DJ he is, but yeah.
Fuck, that's big.
I don't know.
Mate, sorry.
Can you help me rank these shows then?
Yeah.
If I will name some of these shows, Sam, and then when I run dry quite quickly, you could help me out. So
Okay.
I don't even know if these are actually shows. All right. So we've got Jersey Shore. Then there was Geordie Shore. Is that right?
Yeah, so Geordie was the UK one.
Okay. So Desperate Scousewives. Is that real?
I don't know.
I might have made that one.
I've never heard of that.
Okay. Something about Real Cheshire's? Real Housewives?
Real Housewives Cheshire, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there's like loads of Real Housewives in the States. My missus always watches them, and I pretend to not watch them, but I fucking love them.
They're
You
good.
do love him, yeah?
So then your classic is Towie.
Yeah.
Which other ones have I not mentioned?
Made in Chelsea.
Made in
You've
Chelsea.
got Chelsea, you've got Towie. Oh, you've kind of got them.
Structure. Any other structured?
Kind of all of them.
So what's our top three of those shows?
Oh, mate, I'm going to be honest. Love Island.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Love Island.
Yeah, but is that in the same? Is Love Island in the same bracket
Yeah,
as
they're
those?
playing themselves in a structured setting.
Is
Dating setting.
it structured? Is
Yeah,
Love?
because it's in a villa, isn't it?
Right, hang on. We need to get. We go on to Love Island in a bit. That's a whole other. That's a whole other section. Let's just stay with the thing. For me, my wife loves putting Towie on. Loves Love Island.
Yeah.
But I find myself sitting there watching it because I love watching it, but then struggle watching it with the awkward, cringe moments, of which I have to look away and I'm like, turn the fucking TV off, turn it off now. She's like, no.
Turn it off!
Yeah, I'm like, turn it off. She's like, you can leave. I was like, why are you doing this to me? She said, you fucking love cringe. I was like, I love causing cringe.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like watching it. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah. I'm
handle
the
it.
exact
It
same.
fucking kills me.
It's the silences, isn't it?
But it's
Yeah,
but it's
and then they do a
addictive.
look.
But it's addictive.
Yeah, but that's why they do it.
And I sit there thinking, and I would say that Towie's Made in Chelsea is less so for me in terms of reactions.
I think Chelsea do. Do you know what Chelsea do really well? Is they are very good cast wise. So, for example, like a lot of us, so I haven't done it, as I just said, for like 2 years, right? And then before me, Jamie, there was a guy called Jamie Lang. He left sort of a year before I left. And before him, a guy called Spencer Matthews. He left like a couple of years before Jamie. Like, everyone kind of leaves the show at some point because, you know, you've done your time. And I'm 30 now. So, like, there's only so much you can you know, piss around on there before you just feel a bit weird because everyone keeps getting younger and you keep getting older. And I feel like Towie don't do that. They're sort of they cling on. They're cast members. They really cling on. They don't like to leave.
Right, help me out again here, Sam. Who are the big characters from Towie?
That's I don't know. I don't watch it, but my missus watches it like religiously. She loves it. But I'm aware because one of my best mates is a guy called Pete Wicks. He's on Towie. He's sort of like, I think he's near leaving himself, to be fair. But so I'm aware of like the people on it, but I don't know how long people have been on it and stuff like that. But like I know they don't have that. Like you always want to have that like conveyor belt. You know, it's like where you've done your time, leave, and then it allows the young kids to go in and keep going. And then that's why I think Made in Chelsea's done quite well, because like it's always revolutions. Like you always have people go, right, my time is done. You leave, next people come in, they do their thing, their time goes, and like you don't want to cling on.
Yeah,
Otherwise.
Towie has got some youngsters coming through, but they've still got the elder states people.
And it's hard to get
still there that are big cogs in it.
Like a Saris style setup.
Awful analogy. Really, really bad. Please speed up and maybe have watched some reality TV today, motherfucker. So the similarities between Made in Chelsea and Towie, there must be loads. It's essentially the same show.
They're the same thing, completely.
But different class of people.
The skeleton is exactly the same. Like exactly the same. So it's set in an area that is, you know, that has a select amount of people that they decide to film, and those people are all sort of interconnected in some sort of social way. And yeah, so they're basically exactly the same, just different postcodes, I imagine.
Would you say that? So the Made in Chelsea setup, I would argue, is there's less at stake in a way that I watch it and I go, I don't know anyone. Like I follow you on Instagram, and I think I walk in here and I go, hi Sam, hiya, how you doing? But so I think I know you, but I don't know you. So I watch Made in Chelsea and I go, well, you're all fucking rich, like, absolutely minted. Yeah. Okay, so there's no sort of jeopardy.
I know exactly what you mean.
In it going wrong for you
yeah.
in this structured thing, because if it goes tits up, or you're painted out to be a bad character, or that's the role that you're playing within the show, you can just carry on
doing what though?
Being rich.
See, that's the thing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then whereas Towie, I sort of look at as, hang on, they're coming from a lower class of money situation, and then striving more, so they've got less to fall back on. So therefore, they're striving harder at making it successful.
Wouldn't you say that actually that means that it's easier because there's nothing to lose? And so I suppose for anyone in Chelsea, I always used to have, and I can't speak for anyone else, but like I always used to. I mean, I went to private school. I was very lucky to be given that, and I remember this is recently actually. Like I basically apologised to my dad. I was just like, fuck, I'm so sorry, mate. I was like, I'd really fucked school up. And I was like, I've only just realised, because I'm looking at I'm not looking at kids. I'm looking at kids.
Rephrase that. Okay, excellent.
But like, I'm looking at sort of like, you know, having a kid pretty soon and stuff like that. And you start thinking about school fees. You're like, I can't pay that. I can't pay a private school. We're not a chance. They're like 40 grand a year or something now. They weren't like that when I was at school, but they've like, it's obscene money. And so I actually was like, Dad, I'm so sorry, mate. I was like, I really didn't do what I should have done there. And I felt really guilty. And I suppose there's a lot of pressure coming from that sort of background in a different way, because I certainly feel a shit ton of pressure to sort of make my family proud, and the amount of money that, you know, that they put into my education, because it stopped after education. And so, but, you know, education is sort of the most important bit. That's what everyone says, I suppose, isn't it? And so it's like, wow, you know, I really need to try and live up to because I'm under no illusions how lucky I am and what you've given me. And if I just squander all of that, then what kind of bloke does that make me? So, like, there is a lot. It's a different kind of pressure, I think, and I can't speak for anyone else other than myself. But yeah, I definitely feel that certainly for me, in the first couple of years of Made in Chelsea, I was literally like, I need to make sure this is what I want to do, because, as in this industry is what I want to do, because I've got probably another 2 years, and then if I carry on, I won't be able to get a job. And I remember having that very frank chat with myself and being like, do you love this industry enough to stay here? Because if you don't, then you got to get out now.
Well, because if you're in it too long, you're just known as that bloke.
Yeah,
from...
mate, who's hiring you, dude? Like, you want to go and sell some houses, and what someone's going to turn up and be like, aren't you that knob who was on reality TV? You're like, yeah, and they're like, well, I'm not going to listen to you and take you seriously, am I? Like, what the fuck do you know about houses? Like, I get it, like, I completely get it. You know, I mean, I was never going to work in the city. I'm shit at maths, but like, you know, like any job that you want to do, like, I can't imagine anyone's going to look at you and go, you're what we've been looking for.
You're the one.
Yeah, so there's definitely at the very start there was definite like fear, a sort of well, not fear, because I was so young. I was like, it will work itself out. I was very confident it was all going to work out. Thank God, because I mean, yeah, that confidence dissipated pretty quick. But yeah, well, I feel like when you're younger, you kind of had that confidence. But yeah, it's definitely like a lot of you want to make your parents, your rents proud, you know, and you want to sort of like make sure that you live up to all that they've sacrificed for you. And so like, yeah, I feel like there's maybe a different kind of, very long-winded way, a different kind of pressure maybe than some of the other cast members from different shows.
I'll tell you what I want to know, Joe. So this is really fascinating me. But Sam, what's it like when, because it's basically a job, it's like a job, it's like any other job, and that you're doing it most days of the week, I'm guessing. What's it like when you realise that there's these hundreds of thousands of people who know everything about you?
Love it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I don't know what I've always been a people person, so like I like energy a lot, and so when I like speak to people, I know how this sounds, but it's true. It's true about me. Like, I love it when people come and ask me for a photo. I think it's really nice, and I again, you just think to yourself, how lucky am I? Like, that you care enough about my life that you come up and take a photo. I think it's beautiful. Anyone in this industry, if you ever see anyone say no to a fucking photo, you know they're an absolute prick. Like, because how can you say no to someone who is so committed to your life and what you're doing? Like, it's the least you can, like, let's not be under any illusions how lucky we are to do what we do, mate. It's ridiculous, especially now. Like, and all they ask for is the trade-off is a photo. Like, shit, man, I love it. It's great. I mean, obviously there are times where, like, you're pissed off and you're like, I can't really bother. But, like, God, man, the energy's great. Like, even this thing I was talking to you about, I did this Harry Potter thing earlier, mate. Like, the energy of, like, fans of Harry Potter, it's a different energy because it's a huge franchise. But, like, the energy...
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Harry, you're a wizard.
But the energy of the people there, mate, was a joke. It was unbelievable, mate. And it's like, I love that energy. I love it. I think it's great.
What was the most awkward, if you can remember, the situation you found yourself in on Made in Chelsea? Was there ever a moment where you were like, although this is meant to be real life, oh, this isn't sitting that comfortably, or was there any other ones that you saw?
Yeah, like loads. Well, mate, you're getting dumped, aren't you? Like, dude, you don't like any of it.
And they were all legit dumpings, were they?
Yeah, man.
And everything on there is legit,
Dude,
but in a structured way.
In a structured way, everything is legit. I can't say it enough, mate. Everything on that show, I said this before, no one's an actor. If we were, I'd be in LA. I would not be on Made in Chelsea or Towie or whatever, right? Like, mate, I grew up on TV. I had my first relationship on TV. I'd never dated anyone before. I'd never had a girlfriend. I'd never been on a date. I was a really late bloomer. No one really wanted to date me. And I cheated on her for the first time on TV. Mate, at 23 years old, but with the mental age of like an 18-year-old. I got cheated on for the first time on TV. I got dumped more than once, but like for the first time on TV. And like my whole life, really, my whole adult life young adult life has been broadcast. And there've been loads of times where you're like, this is really savage. But do you know what? I can only speak for myself here, but what I really feel like you can pair off is that, do you know how great it is when you're going through a bad time to have people message you being like, I've been through the same thing, or I feel you, or like, I'm with you, or I really like you. And like, mate, there's another side to it, which is if you do something wrong, you fucking know quick. Like, mate, I grew up fast because, let me tell you something, if you cheat on someone, right, on national TV...
Give us an example of what you got then, what you heard from people after that happened.
Oh, got death threats, mate.
Seriously?
Dude, people think Twitter's bad now. Dude, imagine the Wild West when it started, mate. No one cared back then. No one gave a shit back then, mate. I had people being like, I know where you live, and they'd take photos of your door.
What?
And you just hope that they were just joking. You'd be like, well, I hope you don't come in. There's nothing
Was there
really
never any part of you that just went, yeah, that's one of my houses?
Look, I was living with my sister, mate.
actually,
Mate, I was crashing on my sister's sofa for like most of it, and I was literally like, so I was like, ha ha, it's my sister's gaff.
Right.
It's not even mine. But like, yeah, mate. I mean, dude, when I did anything wrong back then, the beauty of the hate was that you grow up real fast. Because you learn things that you wouldn't normally learn. Now, let's say you did something like that you shouldn't do, but no one's telling you shouldn't have done it. Your mates are going, oh, good lads. Or your mates are going, oh, don't worry, it's fine. You're not actually realising that's not a kind way of treating someone. Whereas, let me tell you something, you do it on TV, you realise real quick that that's not the way to act.
So, although it's real and in a structured way, and you've said that a couple of times now, was there any moment that you or other cast members would play up more? Did you find yourself playing up more because you're like, well, actually, this might be a bit more dramatic. This might actually give me a bit more screen time.
Do you know what? The beauty of it is, I suppose, when you're that young, it's all pretty dramatic. Like, mate, you're a bunch of young 20-year-olds who are literally being filmed sort of like on a night out and enjoying yourself. Like, when you're that young, because my sort of like Made in Chelsea heyday, I imagine, was probably sort of like 22 to 25, maybe 26. Even 26, I'm sort of like tailing off. So like, yeah, that early 20s, man, like it's dramatic enough for anyone, you know? I feel like you don't ever I don't think anyone, I don't think anyone really sort of like playing up to it. But having said that, I do watch shows now and I'm like, I know, I feel like you're just sort of over-egging that. So I can see why people might think that if they watch stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I've watched Love Island and been like, you are just so not that person. Yeah, I look at it with such a cynical eye.
Does the show, when you're on it, and let's say that example you've given us earlier of you cheating on someone and you're getting those horrific messages, does the show help out at all? Is there someone you can speak to?
Again, mate, do you know what? Like, obviously there have been horror stories in the recent past. And I can only speak for my experiences. Any show I've ever done, I've had awesome help. As I said, like people like family, man. Like, I've been sat after being dumped. I've cried. I've been sat crying, and I've had like the camera team come up to me who I've known for 10 years, been like, mate, it's okay. Like we've all been through it. Like, do you know, like that's so nice. They don't have to do that. They've got families to go home to. I've had producers call me at midnight, being like, "You okay? Is there anything like you want to talk about?" There is a therapy guy, a psych you can talk to. I never did it because I was very lucky in terms of like I've got like a really nice support network I think around me. So like I never really needed it, but like there is definitely a whole lot of good that the E4 and Channel 4 did for me. And as I said, I can't speak for anything other than my experience, but like they were real good, man. And like, you know, it was never a problem. I don't think I never really had a problem.
Are you a fan? I mean, I'm asking a stupid question, but you've already told me to ask stupid questions. You got to do it. Are you a fan of reality shows, Tom?
See, I found myself wondering this show because obviously the time I'd watched series 1 and 2 of Big Brother, I had the time to do it because I was in my mid-20s. And then the problem is with the age I am now, see, time is so precious to you when you've got children, obviously. You have no time to yourself. So
you ain't going to spend that sitting watching a reality show, are you?
You just don't get the chance to watch anything. Like, if you're lucky, you might watch half an hour or something before, by the time you've got the kids down and you've tidied up. But does
that like freak you out that you're never going to have time to yourself ever again?
All the time, Sam, all the time.
Like, mate, genuinely, but I get this because like I've got ADHD, right? So like, and a bit of OCD, I think. So like I have to like, things have to be like structured quite a lot for me. And so, like, if I don't have, you know, an hour to myself before I have to go to bed because I've got an early start the next day, like, I'd freak out. I'm sitting there going, like, I'm not ready for bed. You know, I have to, like, decompress before bed. you just don't decompress. You go to bed on it.
You sort of get used to it. And that's not true, Joe. Is you don't get used to it. You
Not in
just
the
have to deal
slightest.
with
to
it.
deal with it.
You just got no choice.
You have to make up podcasts to then use an excuse to
Go to London for the day.
leave.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to be back for
It's
hours.
it's an expensive way of just decompressing, but we do it.
Yeah,
It's
and it
great
works.
fun.
Are you a dad, Joe?
Yeah, I've got 4.
You got 4.
Yeah, I've got 4.
Shit.
Yeah, it's tough for my wife
Yeah.
because I'm here, like I said, just
working. Bringing home
working,
the
that's it.
bacon.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
work. I'll see you later. Right.
How do you think you'd be, Joe, on a reality TV show? Because I think you are, on this podcast, you share quite a lot. You are quite relaxed talking about how you feel. So would you enjoy that side of reality TV like Sam did?
I suppose you've kind of had that side because you're a sport, you're an athlete, so you've had people
Well,
message.
I guess the way you first describe reality TV as being you play yourself, but so you're the character, but you play yourself. I was kind of like, well, that's kind of what I do at weekends, because I'm not Saturday Joe on Monday to Friday Joe at home. I'm not going around punching my kids or drop kicking them. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
I'm not doing all that, and I'm playing up to that. That's the character I get to go and play. So it's kind of like a mini. That's what I sort of see it as, just going to play. I always wanted to be on stage, mate. I wanted to be an actor growing up. That's what I wanted to do.
Still got time?
No fucking time at all. So I just,
4 kids.
Exactly. I just use it on a Saturday to do. But to actually go on a reality TV show, I'd struggle. I'd love to do it, like to meet other people. Like,
Do you know what, mate? That's
I love
a really
doing
good point.
it. I love to meet different characters.
Do you know one, if not the best thing I've experienced from all of these shows that I've done is the people I've met, because you just wouldn't, especially where I'm from, man. It's very cliqued up. Like, do you know how nice it is? Like, my best mate is a guy called Pete, and he's like, I would never.
Can we just touch on that? Because Tom clearly has no idea.
Yeah.
But I have lots of intel that Sam's best friends with this guy called Pete Wicks, who's from Towie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the barricades.
chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
And he's described him several times now as his best friend. If Pete was sat there, not once would he refer to Sam as his best friend. He fucking, the way he speaks to him, he's a piece of shit. He's annoying. He just won't leave him alone, and he loves it. He thrives off of it.
You ever watched An Idiot Abroad?
Yes.
You know Ricky Gervais,
Yeah.
Carl Pilkington,
Yeah.
right? He's my pal Carl Pilkington.
Right, so he's Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
So he's Carl Pilkington, and he's happy for you to say that he's Carl Pilkington.
Well, he's not here. So it doesn't matter. But, mate, do you know what's so good about Pete is that, and you're so right, like, if Pete was sat here, he'd be like, no, I fucking hate him. But, like, actually, if it came down to it, and there have been a couple of moments where it has come down to it, he will be there for me more than anyone else, but it has to come down to it. So, like he's like the brother. He's like the big brother who will always, he'll hit you in the arm, he'll beat you up a little bit, but, like, actually, no one else is allowed to call me a prick, only him. He's that kind of guy. And, like, and my God, he called me a prick. But, like, and to be fair, I really, really annoy him.
I love watching it play out, but I'm also interested in the fact that the reality TV show he was on and the reality TV show you're on, in the real world, if we're honest about it, 9 times out of 10, if you two weren't on a reality show, you wouldn't have bothered speaking to each other.
No.
You wouldn't have been like, you'd have been like, fucking hell, I'm steering clear of him. Like, he's head to toe in tats. The stereotype in it, like, it's quite scary. He's talking like, oh, mate, how you doing? You know what I mean? A bit rough around here.
Do you know what I actually would have been like?
And he wouldn't come up to Sam. He'd go, who's that fucking posh twat? We're steering clear out. It's fascinating.
He's so right. Apart from, I would have looked at him and gone, who's that beautiful specimen over there with the lovely, lovely hair and the awesome tats? You're way too cool to ever want to speak to me. And Pete would have looked at me and go, who's that posh prick in the fucking chinos?
The Instagram, I know you're not an Instagram, Tom, because you're old.
Oh, yes!
But the Instagrams of you and Pete just make me fucking die.
Thanks, man. Tell Pete that.
Oh, right. We need to have a break, and then we're going to talk some Love Island after that.
Yes.
Hello. I'm Joe Marler from the Joe Marler Show. We now do socks that you can also wear on your hands, apparently. And the cool thing about these socks are, not only are they jazzy and got my face on them for some ridiculous reason. Stand for socks. Every pair you buy of the Joe Marler Show socks will then donate a pair of warm antibacterial ones to someone who desperately needs them. So go on, go buy some. Not sure why he's thrown a pair at me. If you buy them, they will come in the post in a normal way, and they won't be thrown at you. Stay classy. Where insert the place that you live at now. Hit the link below if you want a pair of socks that you can then pretend to be a cat and lick yourself.
Okay, so those were the adverts. Joe and Sam, you need to start my education about Love Island.
Oh, mate, have you never watched Love Island?
Right, so what I've seen, this is my starting point. There used to be a show on Sky called The Villa. Right, this is in about 2001.
Why do you have to make it so complex? Why do we need to talk about The Villa on Sky to get to Love Island?
Because that's what I imagine Love Island is like. So on The Villa, it would be once a week, and there'd be couples go to this nice villa, and they'd all get off with each other and then slag each other off.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Fair enough. That is basically Love Island,
Is it?
really, yeah.
Kind of is, mate.
But
yeah.
mate, so I'll say what I think, and I think you might agree with me. The first 2 weeks of every Love Island, you go hate it. You go don't like the cast. They cast it terribly. Within 3 weeks after that, you're like, my God, I'm invested. You're like, I hate her, I love her, I hate him, I love him. Like they just, and I think, Joe, let me know if you think differently, but I think it's because it's every day. So it's just like you can't not be invested in their personalities.
It's also just not that hour, is it?
Yeah.
Because of the link between social media and the reaction, the instant reaction you can get from it all, you're constantly having conversations about it.
Until the next one comes out.
Until the next one comes out. And you're like, it's constant. It's a constant stream. And it's bonkers. It's my first experience of Love Island was back in 2018. And I was on tour in South Africa. And a couple of the boys were like, we're going to go back to Launcher's room. I was like, right, what for? They're like, oh, Love Island's on in an hour. And I was like, what? Love Island? They're like, yeah, there's a group of us who are all going to get around and watch it. I was like,
are these your rugby boys?
yeah. These,
Yes! Oh, they're going to hate the fact you said that.
And I'm like, what? And they were like, yeah, we love it. Have you not seen it? I went, no, I fucking haven't seen it. Why am I watching like couples pretending to love each other in order to win the money? Like, what a load of shit that's going to be. They're like, have you seen it? I said, no. Give it a try. I went, all right, I'll give it a try. Open your mind. Okay, fine. So we get there all couched up on the bed. I insist on sitting in the seat in the corner where it's close to the biscuits. And then we stream it. We have to use Tunnel Bear, VPN. Know what?
Keep going.
Okay. It's because we're in a different location to get ITV, a little trick. And then it comes on, and within the first 10, 15 minutes, I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is this? 5, 10 minutes later, I'm like, yeah, I'm hooked.
Yeah,
I'm watching
in.
this.
Yeah.
I'm watching all these random people who are the complete opposite. They're shredded, they're good looking, they're tanned. Like, it's mental.
Geezer,
And you go,
how did you just say they're shredded as if that's the opposite? I hugged you out there, and as I said, it's like being hit by a truck. Mate, you are shredded.
you also then compared it to being electrocuted by a light bulb,
Yeah.
which was a bit of a come down from the
Go with the truck,
truck
if you got the
analogy.
choice.
I mean, you just brought that back up.
Sorry, and I'm hooked. Been hooked ever since, but in a really weird way that I find myself this is shit. Why am I watching this? I shouldn't be wasting my brain time on this, and yet I do. And just to describe, like you said, Ekin-Su and Davide
Yeah.
this year's, for example, the winners.
What are they called?
Ekin-Su,
Yeah, she's called Ekin-Su. She's Turkish.
Ekin-Su and Davide.
She's actually Italian. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
So very likable people.
The
as well.
first week, I couldn't stand them.
Oh, neither could I.
Couldn't stand. I went Ekin-Su.
Oh,
God,
mate,
can't stand him.
dude, I'm the exact
Davide,
same.
oh, he's a bit of a tit. No, he loves himself. By the end of it, I couldn't love him more.
Yeah.
They were so funny. I just wanted them to get back together, and I just fell
He's
in love
so
with them all
right,
over again.
mate. I can't tell you, mate. At the start, I thought, oh my god, Davide. Like I keep calling him Davide.
Davide?
Yeah, I know, and I just called him for the start, and so I'm never going to not call him Davide. And he basically like, I was like, this guy's never going to make it. I was like, they've brought him in. So, have you ever watched Friends before?
Not 105.
Well, I don't know, mate.
He told you he was 48. He told you he was 48 before the show, and you've gone. Have you ever heard of this thing called Friends?
I don't know, mate.
Have I heard of this massive global phenomenon where each episode has been replayed at least 1,000 times?
Yeah. I can recite every word. So in Friends, right, at the start where Ross really likes Rachel at the very start, and Chandler's mum goes, she's like an author, an erotic novel author, and she says to Ross, she's like, and Rachel is dating this Italian guy, and she says to Ross, she goes, don't worry, he's not the main character, you're the main character in the story, in the love story. She was like, he is just like a hurdle that you as the main character is going to overcome. They're not going to last. Like, he's just like a lover boy that at the moment she wants to be with. And lo and behold, that was true. Like, obviously, Ross is the main character and blah, blah, blah. I thought the same thing about Davide. I was literally like, this guy's just been drafted in by the producers. He's a beautiful man. I was like, he's probably got no personality, just obviously judging the book by its cover. And which everyone who watches Love Island does, by the way. It's the best and worst trait of all of us. And then actually, by the end, I'm sitting there going, don't you dare say that to Davide. Don't do it. You're not allowed. He is the nicest, sweetest man you have ever seen in your life. Ekin-Su, she came in, I went, oh, come on. I was like, she's trying too hard. She's got this game plan. By the end of it, still believed that she had a game plan. Didn't care. I was like, I don't care if you're the biggest liar and actress I've ever seen. I love you. I want you to succeed. Don't know what it was.
Oh, it's his voice as well, the way he says these things.
Give us a blast.
Say the liar and actress one.
You're a lie.
Yeah, that was it.
You're a lie. You're a lie. You're accurate. Fuck. You lie. You lie. You lie and you act. You're the worst actress. Why is it just going Nelson Mandela? You're a liar. And you're an actress. Fucking Sam, help me.
You're a liar. No, I'm terrible.
Well, Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Fine.
An actress.
What?
An actress. I don't
Actress.
know. I've never been good at these.
Right, let's
Says it in a very good way.
Let's get some Love Island secrets going on. Why don't they ever eat? What, you never see them sit down and eat. Why the fuck don't they eat? Do they not eat?
No, they do eat. So, mate, I'm going out with an ex-Islander. Got hair in my mouth. I'm going out with an ex-Islander, so I get.
Is that connected?
Unrelated or yeah?
No, it's really just on the tip of the tongue, and you can feel it.
Again, is that yeah?
Fuck's sake. Why don't you ever see Love Islanders eat? I see him preparing something in the morning.
Why would they show? This is what she said to me, right? And I asked this exact question, mate. Why would they bother showing Love Islanders eat when they have 45 minutes to show?
Yeah, but like where do you eat your meals?
Kitchen table or sofa.
With other people?
You're a sofa eater. Can't do it.
Occasionally, it's not good, is it?
With other people?
50% of the time, yeah.
So would there be conversations around your food?
Yes.
Right. Where do you eat your food, Sam?
It's very similar. Yeah.
And is there conversations around
There
your
are
food?
conversations, yeah.
So my argument back to Zara, your girlfriend, is, well, because people talk around food.
But think about it. They talk all day long.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, and also, normally, as you'll know, like, most of the good stuff happens at night. And they sort of, like, they'll, like, be, like, round the fire pit or something will happen. Ooh. And you don't even know what the fire pit is, mate.
He's just gone, oh.
Yeah.
I like the sound.
I remember, and again, this is all my time.
If you say the villa, you can only say the villa if you're referring to the villa in Love Island.
Yeah, because it is actually called the Villa.
I was actually, Joe, going to reference Series 1 and 2 of Big Brother.
Okay.
Right. So when stuff was going on in the bedrooms, they had some weird night vision that made it look
Yeah,
great.
they've got that in Love Island, yeah.
And on Big Brother, the first couple supposedly to have sex was that Geordie girl, Michelle?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I was born for that episode, mate.
So on Love Island, has it stepped up a notch.
Oh yeah, you've seen it's actually stepped down a notch.
Oh.
Actually,
Yes.
there were when it was first kicking off, you could literally like see the duvet moving and stuff. And now, because it's such a huge countrywide phenomenon, like everyone who goes in there goes, right, well, this might mess up my brand deals, or like this might mess up this, or that. Because let's be honest, everyone knows sort of like why they're going in there. They are going in to sort of find a connection with someone, but you also know that your life could monumentally change when you come out.
So let's touch on that bit then. Well, you've pretty much just answered it. It started out as a dating show.
Yeah.
A reality TV dating show where couples go, or people go in there to find love. They're looking for love. That's the premise of the show.
I understood that by the title. Thank
Excellent, wank bucket. And the winning couple at the end of it get 50 grand. Okay, so that's the incentive to fall in love, and you get rewarded with 50 grand. But now it seems to have become something else. I look at
But
it
you
and
know
go,
what it
how
is?
many people are actually going on there to find love?
None of them. But the beauty of it is I don't care. So this is why Love Islanders will never, ever go. Because we as a viewer aren't stupid. We know why you're going on there. We know that you're all going on to get the PLT deal. I don't care. Because you're still going to find a connection with someone in there. You're still going to try and couple up and stay to the end. Like the funny thing is, the theme of the show is at the very end. If you win it and the public vote for you, there's a 50 grand cash prize, right? I always wonder whether that's tax free, by the way, but like because it'd be a bit shit. It was like right, and so 45% is going to the HMRC, and then you got to split it as well. So like basically you get a decision at the very end if you've won it to take the cash yourself or split it with the partner you're with. Now, no one in the history of Love Island has actually gone, it was all a game, I'm taking the cash. Because when, okay, mate.
Hang on, who gets to choose?
Let me give you a little bit of backstory, right? When Love Island started, years and years and years ago, well, not the first Love Island, but the Love Island that I remember, right? Like, it was like a show that I don't think anyone realised how big it was going to be. And so, I think the premise was, are you here for love or are you here for the money? Now, I could stand corrected there, but in my head, that's what it meant, right? But because it became a cultural phenomenon, no one ever split. Everyone took the money because they were like, well, we'll get hated because millions and millions of people are watching it. So I need to be seen as like a good person, right? So, but the premise has always been you could actually be faking it. So it's actually no different, really. Like, we know why people are going on there. And if you entertain me and you actually do try to form a connection with someone, that's all I, as a viewer, ask for. I don't care if you're doing it for money afterwards. It doesn't bother me at all. So,
Sam, did you go on the jungle?
No.
Would you go in the jungle? Do you want to go in the jungle?
Would I go in the jungle? Would I go? Yeah, I think so.
I think the jungle's got to be one of my favourite.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I would. I think so. To be honest, I think I've probably come to near the end of my TV stuff. I mean, I've done a lot.
You're 30.
Yeah.
They have a glorious finale though. You go out and flame.
Well, what I was going to say was that would probably be the last. I mean, I say it now. Watch it in a year, you'll see me doing something else. But yeah, I think that would probably be the last one that I'd do, and I feel like that'd be a really nice way to go out and do something like that, and then, because you can't be in it forever. You know, it's. Well, you can. I mean, there are loads of people who do it, but so absolutely you can. But I wouldn't want to be in it forever. So I think the jungle would be a nice thing. And the reason I like the jungle as well is, once again, you're meeting a whole group of people that you'd never normally meet, and they're all celebrities. Because let's be honest, if I managed to sneak my way in there, I would have imposter syndrome from the moment I touched the grass, mate. I'd be sitting there. If I was like with Harry Redknapp, mate, I wouldn't let him sleep. I'd be like, Harry, tell me about your 442.
Oh, look how excited he's getting about your mate Azza.
Do you know Harry Redknapp?
Yeah, no hurry. Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst. Do you know what that is? That is like I'm going to pretend like I'm not proud of the fact that
Tom,
I'm Harry Redknapp. Yeah. What has it?
Did you do Harry's book, or was that Dursey?
Thing is, Joe, you know people who've been in the jungle,
Do I?
don't you?
You must do. You're a sportsman. You must know all the sports people who've been in there.
John McCurrick.
Who's that?
John McClane.
Oh no, he was in Big Brother.
Didn't Hask go in the jungle?
Oh, Haskell.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you bringing him up? He really hated it. I haven't actually spoken to him about it properly, but from what I've heard, he hated it because of the whole calorie situation. He blamed him. he blamed him coming across like a helmet
Oh, because he was hungry.
on the food and the edit. And I went, "Are you taking a piss, mate? You were spot on. That's exactly how I know you and what I know you for."
Yeah. Just because you've been found out, mate.
You know, you're playing with fire, mate. Going and telling the world this is who you are. Don't then blame it on you getting
Would you do
600
it?
fucking calories.
Would you do the jungle?
Claustrophobic, scared of heights. Not
Have
a
you been
chance in
offered it?
hell. No.
What about Ian Beale? You know Ian Beale, is he on it?
His name's Adam Woodyard.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Ian Beale.
Oh. I've got nothing left.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. No, I didn't talk to him about that either. I talked to him about his vegan food truck that he does
I
now.
love that about Haskell. No, bang on, mate. Actually, that is you. Actually, I've never. Do you know what? That's a microscope as well on you. That couldn't be more you if you tried. The calories. I love that. You don't get that hangry.
So, but because Hask did moan about, he didn't moan, but he did touch on the fact that he was edited. It was part of the thingy. How much editing how much editing goes on with Made in Chelsea? Can you be edited? Surely the producers can edit it. Like Spencer, for example,
hard,
he was part of the love triangle, and he played the part of the villain and edited accordingly. But they could have still edited him being nice.
This is the point, though. You can't edit someone's personality. Can't do it. Like it's like Haskell. I'm sure, like you were just saying, like you can't give someone a different personality. They still have the traits they have. What you can do is cut down what they've said because obviously it's got to fit into a certain amount of time. But you can't. It's funny when people panic and they go, "Oh, the edit's done me dirty." There, it's like, no, you've done you dirty. They can't put a word in your mouth. Like you have said that. There's no one else has said that. They haven't gone and like deep faked it. So it's like just because you're bummed out that bit's got in. That's not like anyone else's fault. That's got to be your fault, right? So you can't ever really blame the edit, I don't think. Watch when I do a show now. I'm like, I've been edited terribly. They're going to clip this up and be like, really, mate?
It's kind of created a whole new, not genre. It's created a whole new, like at school. Fuck. Jesus, asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Like at school, like, in fact, I'm asking the wrong person
How old
as
are you?
well. 32.
30 years old.
Yeah, I meant like very different schools.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
What are you trying to say about
I think
school?
your career was somewhat different to some of the advice I would have been given. Careers advisors, did
Yeah.
you have them at school?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the career advisors and
Yeah.
you go, what are you interested in? I said, well, I like food. And they go, right, do you want to be a chef? I said, well, I like eating it. But they said, okay, maybe we'll look doing a B-Tech in cookery or something like that.
Do you know what I got told to do?
Go on.
2 things. One of them was IT.
You could do the computer.
I liked it. I like gaming, so I was like, I like gaming. The other one was archaeologist.
Different vibe, isn't it?
Because I like classic Civ and history.
What's classic Civ?
Classic Civ was like ancient Greek.
Oh,
Like,
civilization.
yeah, and all that.
I love
kind
a
of stuff.
chicken gyros.
Oh, I like a gyros
I love
too, to
that.
be fair. A bit of halloumi in it as well. Oh.
But now, I can imagine, because of these types of shows that have been going for a number of years now, you could go to a careers advisor and go, I want to be Sam Thompson.
I doubt anyone said that.
I want to be Molly May. I want to be an influencer. I want to be a reality TV
Well, how can they
star.
respond to that? What do you even say?
But that's a real option now,
That's
isn't it?
the option.
It's available to...
Dude, Joe, that is the option for young people right now.
Is it?
But
Mate,
is
everyone wants to be a YouTuber. Everyone wants to be not what I do, because to be honest, reality TV is now becoming a little bit ancient. So now it's all about social media influencer, TikTok viral superstar. YouTube is you know this, Joe. YouTube's enormous. Like they want to be like Logan Paul or KSI, or like no one wants to like do anything other. Well, that's such a lie. Obviously they do, but like a lot of kids now don't want to do something that like I was told to do when I was a kid.
Where do you sit with that, Tom? And your opinion on, say, Jonty turned around to you and said, "Here, Dad, I want to be an influencer." What would be your response to that?
It's hard, isn't it? Because you want to, if with your kids, you want to support them and you want to let them develop their dreams away from your dreams. You don't want to just replicate yourself. That's pointless. But equally, I'd find it quite hard because it's such a different world, the world that I grew up in. The idea that you could just have a career selling stuff that you weren't bothered about on your name. It's just quite a strange...
Terrifying, though.
I've never really got my head around it.
Scary, because imagine, like, you're self-employed at that point, and you're not an entrepreneur self-employed. You're just self-employed. And so you're like, what happens if I'm shit? Or, like, what happens if, like, it just doesn't work out? What then? Like, it doesn't really matter how many followers. Like, it always freaked me out as well. And that's, like, I do a fair amount of marketing stuff on my digital handles and things, but you got to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Like, I mean, who the hell am I to tell people what they should and shouldn't do? But I really do believe, if someone asked me, should I join Love Island? Or, again, let's take Love Island out because, I mean, it's a huge show, but should I join a TV show or whatever? I would probably say no, unless you are so dead set in the fact that you want to be in this industry. Not an influencer. That's not an industry. That is just, well, maybe it is, but it's not an industry that I'm aware of, that I really know much about. And I don't believe there is any fulfillment at all in taking a photo of yourself wearing something that might be bought by someone or something like that. Like, and also I think that a lot of people go on these shows thinking they're going to be the next one. You know, everyone goes on these shows being like, I'm going to be, like, there's no other, like, they don't even think I might not make it. They just go, I'm going to be the next Molly. Do you know how hard it is to be Molly May? Like, I mean, it's the 0.001.
We'll have to just quickly explain. Molly May.
Oh, yes, sorry, mate.
Was
yeah.
on Love Island. She was partnered up with Tyson Fury's
son. Not son, brother. Yeah.
Tyson Fury's kids are very young.
Yeah.
They were never on Love Island. Brother,
Tommy Fury.
They didn't win, did they? They came
second.
Came second.
Or second or third, yeah.
But Molly May is the biggest success story off of Love Island. She's the creative director of
Pretty Little Thing.
What's that?
What's Pretty Little Thing?
Yeah.
It's like a multi-billion-dollar
It's a
fast
clothing.
fashion
In
line.
education today.
Yeah, it is quite an education. So that's Molly May. That was just the thing. Sam was saying that. Do you know how hard it is to be Molly May? And I saw your face go, "Who the fuck's Molly May?" Tom, have you got any others?
That's all my...
Your reality TV'd out.
Not out. I think I'm topped up beautifully.
You've topped up.
Topped up. That is such a lovely way of saying it. I love that. He
Sam,
said that from the kids. Nah, he's learnt that from the kids. Are you tired of your kids? No, I'm just topped up.
Very, very topped up.
Sam, it's been brilliant having you on. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
for coming, mate.
I've had a really good time. Thanks, I really
Good man.
appreciate it.